Today we are going to do something for non-existent Canada. Despite the delusions and the illusions of the Commonwealth folks, I listened to a debate between, like, what is her name? Kemi Bandok and Angela Rayner, the now deputy for the current Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, that everyone is making a petition, and they are signing it, and they are saying, like, we want to sack him and we want to expel him because he's not, like, we are very disappointed in him and he failed to meet our expectations of him. He is worse than the Tories. Actually, it is just like the American politics. يعني if you think you rebelled against Zaid and another Ali that will come after them, is going to be amazing. You are in a great tragedy will be awaiting you. So a lady, she is talking about Peter, what is his name? Peter Hegseth. His name is Peter Hegseth, and he says, like, he is displaying like that he is the macho man and the strong man, the alpha male, and he had like he got the plot and the plan to make innovations and renovate and like اللي هو يعيد الشباب والحيوية to the DOD, Department of of Defense. And he as someone who served for 20 years, and a lot of people like are very pleased with him becoming like اللي هو the next Secretary of Defense, because he is speaking on behalf of like the young generations. He is going to give a voice for the voiceless millions within the Western troops, some in service and those who went out of service. So it is just like Kamala Harris was saying, we are going to bring younger generations within the Democratic Party. So this Peter Hegseth is saying, I am like the new face of and the new generations for the Department of Defense, just like Trump is doing now. He brought like 0.0000 point all the folks, and majority are young. And he is doing just like Kamala Harris was saying, I will bring young generations in. This is a new era. So this woman is saying, how dare this Peter Hegseth question what women can offer and bring into the military service. This is like a forum that was going on. I will be delving into it and listening to those folks. And I listened to a lecture. They are talking about the NATO. The NATO is like the Canadians. It does not exist. It does not exist. Me, I was ruined by the European Union and the Americans and the United Kingdom. So I listened to a lecture, and اللي هو everybody on planet Earth, and they are doing a security analysis, and they are saying to the European Union and the NATO, the two Satanists, Roberta Metsola, her name is Mozilla, whatever she said. I listened to a talk to her in youth forum in Germany, and she's saying the only way. She is from Moldova. It is a shitty country, and they say there is a civil war. I don't know. I was reading an article, and they are saying there is a civil war or a political turmoil is going. She's from Moldova. This woman, Roberta Mozilla, she said the only way, the only manner and way to come into the a youth forum like 6 months ago, she's a fucking sack of shit, is becoming LGBTQ. She said so, and she was in Germany. And she said the only way to come to Europe is to become LGBTQ. She had, I don't know what are those sacks of shit, and she has 4 children or 5 children. She is having a meeting with what is her name, Ursula von der Leyen, and they are discussing stuff in regards to the European Union. I was listening to that interview. She's a sack of shit. All of them. She has like 5 or 4 children, and this Ursula von der Leyen, she has like von der Leyen, she has 7 children, and they want everybody on planet Earth to become a rainbow flag. What a sack of shit. You should look at her babies. 1, 2, 3, 4 kids or 5 kids, and I posted it on Twitter. اللي هو there is a fertility crisis within the European Union. They actually want this. They killed the majority via poverty and COVID-19 and similar illnesses, and I wrote about them in an article, and they have the highest rate of poverty among elders and youth and kids. Just like this United Kingdom, they are saying kids are malnourished, and the elders and stuff like that, and there is like tragedies occurring there. A lady is married, a woman is married to a man. They are advocating for the LGBTQ zift, and she's married to a man. They don't want anybody breeding, and she has like 4 sons. What a tragedy. Whatever. And she said the only manner you can come to the European Union is if you become, this is the quickest and the only manner one can come to the European Union, becoming LGBTQ zift. That's what they advocate even for Somaliland. They have something called that thing that the Americans overturned for getting access into universities. Affirmative action. They have affirmative action even in Somaliland. If you know what they do in the international organizations, they ruin everybody who is God-fearing and is a godly creature. They have affirmative action in international organizations, and they advocate. If you are a God-fearing creature like me, MSF, BSI, THET, and so Somaliland, they will ruin you. Majority, they are not disclosing who they really are. Only the billionaire Muslims and the sheikhs and the state and the Westerns know who works in those international organizations and other places. So this Roberta Motz, I was reading an article. Is she from Moldova? There is like a civil war or something that's going to erupt. In Moldova. I was reading an article. Her nation, there is a civil war that's going to occur. Is she from Moldova or Malta? Where is she from? Is she from Malta? I was reading something. A civil war is going to occur in Moldova. There is there is a catastrophe that is going to occur in Malta. She's from Malta. There is a catastrophe that is going to occur in Moldova. So we are going to read like this, a woman of the Chief of Armed Forces of Canada. People, we are going to do like the handsome American that was reading the Reddit. So we are going to read a comments section. So this is the video of the Associated Press, and this woman is saying how dare this guy Peter Hex's question, and she had been serving within the and she's talking about the contributions of women in the armed forces. So we will read like this handsome American. People are saying, we are going to read like he was reading Reddit. We are going to read a comment section. I love reading the comment section. It gives you a public opinion of the masses. We should make workers and stuff around the world who collect comment sections around the world. This is the most important place to get a view of how folks regard or their perception about the human being that is talking. So this person is saying, I came straight for the comments and they didn't disappoint. It is what they are writing about this woman. They are writing like the most heinous stuff about her. Did someone tell her in the United States women serve by choice and are not forced to sign up for selective service? People in Canada are forced to join the military, get the same benefit and get the same benefits as the men who served, and the men who service. And this person is saying women holding combat positions should be based on merit only. If they can pass the same requirements as men do, then they should be allowed to participate in those or that position. If not, then no, because they would be determined to the rest of their unit. DEI has no place in our military. I have no idea if this is true about the United States Army, but everyone is severely upset about this nomination of Peter Hexes, and they are saying that it is targeted, it is racism, it is white supremacy, and it is targeted against minorities. You do your Jen Kernighan and we do ours. يعني you do your shit and do not involve America. False claims. She never, so a Canadian is saying she is making false claims. She never served a day in a battlefield. A lady lecturing the humanity. The Canadians are saying she never served a day in her life. Somebody else is saying you never served as a combat officer. They are saying to the woman, you never served as a combat officer. She was put in charge of, she She is in charge of the military, but she never served as a combat infantry officer. Well, people, this is what we call awareness. They are not suffering from cognitive dissonance. I hope Canada wouldn't have to go to war anytime soon. The comments did not disappoint. They are saying, I hope Canada wouldn't have to go to war anytime soon. If this is your commander, like in chief, and the person responsible for your military, you will be screwed. And this person is saying, worry about Canada. This human being, this person is saying, news flash. U.S. senators does not care or don't care. Look up this lady for your information. She ran in 2020 when the U.S. was having issues with Iran and tried to leave and charter a jet just for rugs and gifts. She is even a corrupt person. They are saying while there was a turmoil occurring with Iran, she tried to escape and she used she is like, what was his name? Stephen Manchin. Who used it when he was like Secretary of Treasury. He used it for his newly bride who looked like Marilyn Monroe. He took a jet of the United States government and administration, and he used it to fly her around. Actually, there is a woman, she was on Fox News. She was a girlfriend of somebody who served in one of the American administrations. I don't know, Bill Clinton, Obama. And her boyfriend, she was cheating on her husband. And her boyfriend, who was serving in the American government, was she was on Bloomberg, and she was on CNBC television, and she was also on Fox News. Her name was Trish. She was responsible of the finance news. Her name was Trish something, and she even it is Trish Reagan. Her name was Trish Reagan. She used jets of the American administration. Her boyfriend, who was cheating also on his wife, was flying her around America, the land of infidelity. Liz Cheney, fidelity to the Constitution. Trish Reagan, her boyfriend, she was like, what was her name? Stephanie Rue. She cheated on her husband with a guy called Kevin Blanco or something. Kevin. His name was Kevin something. His company was called Armor or something. She cheated. Stephanie Rue, she cheated. She cheated on her husband just to become the girlfriend of this guy. So, Under Armour. The name of his company is called Under Armour. Whatever. She cheated on her husband just to become Kevin Blanc. The world and the universe we live in is a shitty place. Here is the creator, Kevin Blanc, and his company is called Under Armour. Stephanie Rue, she became the girlfriend of this creator, so she has access to Donald Trump, America, the Western world. And they said, what is her name? Kamala Harris was drunk. And this Trish Reagan, she cheated on her husband, and she was using private jet of the American administration. Stephanie Rue, and Kevin Blanc. الuniverse, it is an evil universe. And even Kamala Harris, they were saying when she first went into the American government and she was becoming a lawyer, and she was establishing herself as a lawyer. There is an old black man, his name was Willie Brown. Everybody is mocking Kamala Harris. We came across her in weird manners, but she was like in something was very wrong about her, but this is among her worst like videos that were made about her. So, and he's saying Canada top military commander. That is an oxymoron. I have never heard Canada has a military commander. And this person is saying, tell us about the horrors female soldiers face if or when they are captured or are in the theater. She's making a political statement, not a practical one. As an American, nobody questioned the validity of any woman that desires to serve, to fight, to sacrifice for her nation. At the same time, it is reasonable question whether women in direct combat roles increase the lethality and effectiveness of a military operation. Men and women are made differently. They are equally worthy, however, not equally suited for every task. This, what a joke. She would last 2 seconds in a battle. Canada is a joke. And you know, I have not listened to the whole, the internet is filled with people talking shit about Canada. It is a shitty place. And Justin Trudeau, I listened to a tiny portion. He was saying, like, he made a video 9 days ago, and he's saying we are changing the immigration policy. It is dysfunctional nation. They talk about dysfunctional families. It is a dysfunctional nation. The economy collapsed. Army, this guy also is talking about the army, and he is saying, do you know, there is another video and they are talking like the military equipment of Canada. It is not from this century. Do you know? They said some of the Canadians, they died in the battlefields because Canadian Armed Forces, they died in the battlefields because equipment was not the most sophisticated and was not of the highest technology, and America left behind trillions worth of dollar of military equipment for Taliban. They say Canadians, many died in the battlefield because the equipment, and even the, do you know, battleships were exploded because they were like not well equipped. They were not well equipped. And even the armed service people, they died in battlefields because of their equipment. It was not current. It was not of the latest versions. And they say, do you know, if you go, they say if the Canadians are sent to the battlefields, 10 soldiers 10 soldiers. It occurred, do you know when this occurred? It occurred in the wars between the Arabs and Israel, and Israel. The Russians gave like the Arabs not the highest technology warfare equipment to the Arabs in their war with Israel. So this, I was listening to another video, and they said out of the 10 soldiers who are Canadian who go to a battlefield, they say maybe only one has an equipment to save themselves and fight the enemy. The remainder 9 or 8 can be dead in the battlefield. Even this guy, he's saying اللي هو people are leaving armed forces, Canadian armed forces. Trained people are resigning, and there is a failure to recruit new service people. You know what I was telling you yesterday about Kay Barley? Kay Barley was saying Canada and the United Kingdom want to go on with their assisted dying. This man, he comments on the video, and he's saying, who would want to enlist to serve for a country that couldn't care less about you? And a government of Sky News was talking about giving enthusiasm, assisted dying for everybody in United Kingdom and in Canada. This guy is saying, who would want to enlist to serve? Sky News was saying that people would be taking injections, and they will be killing themselves in Canada and the UK. This man says, who would want to enlist to serve for a country that couldn't care less about you, and a government that thinks offering veterans help is offering assisted suicide? Canada has no money for its military personnel and is offering them assisted suicide. It is a fucking nation. It is, and there are tons of videos on their political turmoil, economic turmoil, cultural turmoil. I watched a video of the woke agenda. A trans creature killed somebody in a subway, in a train station. Somebody was going to somewhere, work, university, I don't know, market. They were going somewhere. It was the train station, and a man who became a woman, a guy who was going to work or university or market, said to him, I want, you are blocking the way, move aside. And he said to him, you are saying he? Who told you I am a he? And this creature who became a woman, he's a man, who became a woman, and other hundreds of Canadians, they were beating to death the man going to work or the university or the market. They beating them to death, and they left them bleeding in the train station, just for you are using the wrong pronoun when you talked with me. In Canada, it will, inshallah, it will sink below. They say it is surrounded by water. It is going to sink below the water. Or taking vets to court, and they are taking the vets to court because, according to Trudeau, some veterans want more than Ottawa can afford, because things like pension, wheelchairs, and prosthetics are too expensive. But multiple pay raises for members of the government is totally fine. Why is totally fine? That is someone who is commenting. This other guy is saying, why serve and possibly die for an ungrateful nation, signed by a Canadian Afghanistan veteran. Another guy is saying, you don't get recruiters by lowering standards, pushing DEI and social justice, and encouraging noise rings and verbal hair. You get recruited by maintaining. He's saying this video. Standards had been lower, just like I was telling you. Canadian Armed Forces, it is one of the worst. They were doing fucking with Taliban in the opium fields. Being professional and running an organization that a smart, fit, patriotic youth would be proud to be part of. My dad, DI, 37 years. My brother, 38. And I did, this person is saying, my dad served 37 years in the army. My brother, 38. And I served in the army 35 years. My son is gearing up to join, despite the loss of direction. It is bad to hear the same stuff from UK and the USA. The pendulum needs to swing back. Winning in combat is life and death, not a social experiment. Just an idea of Canada is not worth dying for. What a great comment. The version of Canada that Justin Trudeau has offered Canadians is not worth dying for. This is Ursula von der Leyen and Roberta Mozilla, pieces of shit that are doing a summit currently. Why would you fight for a country that despises and holds you in contempt? No thank you. I did a year in the infantry reserve to get my feet wet, and then was going to switch to Rig Force. My officer cadet constantly fucked up our weekend schedule and blamed me and others for not listening. They tell me everywhere those forcing crimes against humanity, against me, Sheikh, state security, university's job that are forcing sexual slavery upon me and even and try to kill me. You are not listening. I got confirmation, then had to try to reschedule my weekends with my son, which is a headache. Beyond that, the management was absolutely stunned. Any private sector management like that would have been fired in a matter of weeks. I didn't mind sanitary duty, mud raincoats, even the gas chambers that sucked. It was management, man. I am back in the trades as a carpenter. He left the army, and this guy decided to become, because of the shitty creatures within the army. He says, I am now a carpenter, and I get shift done, and I am likely starting my own business soon as the demand is growing. I would have served, but they need to be organized. This other guy is saying this is the Canadian Armed Forces after. What is this? This guy is saying after 37 years of service, I can no longer recommend the armed forces as a career option to young men or women. The internet is filled with stuff about Canada. It is going to become extinct. It's going to vanish like the dinosaurs. It is like the prophecy of Prophet Joseph. 7 بقرات سمان يأكلهن 7 عجاف. Canada is going to go vanish and extinct because it failed to transform itself. People are saying the Justin Trudeau idea of what Canada is something satanic, and that contributed to the failure of Canada. I'm still compiling lots of stuff. This is our talk for today, and we had a discussion in the morning.